Dark Lord Sauron forged in secret a master ring.
The Lord of the Rings.
Hi Cownies, on this occasion we bring you an introductory video to one of the greatest European mythologies ever.
The Lord of the Rings is an epic fantasy novel written by the British philologist and author J.R.R. Tolkien.
His story unfolds in the Third Age of the Sun of Middle-earth, a fictional place populated by men and other anthropomorphic races such as hobbits, elves, or dwarfs, as well as by many other fantastic creatures.
The novel narrates the journey of the main character, Frodo Baggins, a hobbit from the Shire, to destroy the One Ring and the ensuing war that the enemy will provoke to recover it, since it is the main source of power of its creator, the Dark Lord Sauron.
Wow! Welcome to the universe of the Lord of the Rings.
I'm Warren.
And I'm Mindy.
And this is
Well, maybe.
I am certain to this. You shall not pass!
The Lord of the Rings was started as a sequel to The Hobbit, a fantasy story published in 1937 and originally written by Tolkien for his children.
The popularity of The Hobbit caused the publisher George Allen and Unwin to ask Tolkien for more stories related to the novel, and in this way, the author began to write what would become The Lord of the Rings, and he did not end it up until 12 years later in 1949.
Due to Tolkien's perfectionist personality, because he was frequently interrupted due to his academic obligations, the composition of the novel was slow and at intervals of time.
The Finnish mythology, and more specifically the Kalevala epic, was recognized by Tolkien as an influence in Middle-earth. Similar to The Lord of the Rings, the main subject of Kalevala is centered around a magical object of great power, the Sampo, which gives great fortune to its owner.
Like the One Ring, this Sampo is fought by the forces of good and evil and ends up being destroyed at the end of the story. Tolkien also bases Kenja, one of the Elvish languages, and in Finnish.
On the contrary, the other Elven language, Sindarin, is based on Welsh, with the phonetic structure of both being very similar.
The Anglo-Saxon epic Beowulf is another of his main influences. Tolkien liked this work very much. The people of Rohan, their culture, social organization, physical characteristics, and character are inspired by the mythical Anglo-Saxon villages of Beowulf.
Their language, the Rohirric, is inspired by the Anglo-Saxon, and some of the names of the Rohirrim directly from it. For example, Eomer, meaning famous in the world of horses, and Eowyn, meaning bride of the horses.
William Shakespeare's Macbeth is another of Tolkien's influences. The destruction of Isengard by the Ents was inspired by the fifth act of that war, where Vernon Forrest attacked the castle of Dunsinane.
This fact surprised Tolkien then. However, he was disappointed to discover they were men camouflaged with branches and not the forest who moved. In this way, in his work, he decided trees were really warlike real creatures. In addition, the way of walking and talking of Treebeard is inspired by his friend, the writer C.S. Lewis.
Sometimes when they tickle me awfully, I'm always trying to get somewhere with it.
Finally, George Marshall and Unwin was commissioned to publish The Lord of the Rings. The Fellowship of the Ring was published on July 29, 1954. The Two Towers on November 11th of the same year, and The Return of the King almost a year after, on October 20th, 1955.
In 1997, a macro survey was conducted by the Waterstones libraries in the United Kingdom and on Channel 4 to choose the best book of the century, and The Lord of the Rings was the winner. In 1999, Amazon.com, a virtual internet bookstore, organized another survey, and the novel was chosen as the Millennium's book.
Ian Holm lent his voice to the character of Frodo in the radio adaptation of 1981, and years later he would play Beowulf in the film trilogy. Wow!
There was an attempt to bring The Lord of the Rings to the big screen in 1967 in the hands of the American director Stanley Kubrick, who wanted to make a version of the novel with the members of the rock band The Beatles, Paul McCartney as Frodo, Ringo Starr as Sam, George Harrison as Gandalf, and John Lennon as Gollum. However, everything remained in a project after Tolkien rejected it.
Theoden King stands alone. Not alone. Go hit him!
In 1995 was started a project to make a live-action film by the New Zealand director Peter Jackson, who presented the project to Miramax Films. They rejected the script, and then to New Line Cinema, who finally gave him the nod. Filming began on October 99 and ended in December 2000, counting each film 1 year of post-production.
The Fellowship of the Ring premiered on December 2001, The Two Towers in December 2002, and The Return of the King in December 2003. They were great blockbusters. They revived the Tolkien phenomenon, and mostly they had a good reception among the critics. They obtained between the three movies 17 Oscar awards, being the third part the most awarded with 11, indeed the same number of winnings as Ben-Hur and Titanic.
In 2009, a group of fans of Tolkien's stories made a 40-minute short film named The Hunt for Gollum. The short film is based on the time when Aragorn searches for Gollum under the order of Gandalf, with elements from the appendices of the novel. It is an accomplishment without authorization and without any affiliation. Made just for fun, it was premiered on May 3rd, 2009, and is available to watch it for free online.
What do you think about The Lord of the Rings?
Leave us your comments below and be part of our friends.
Subscribe to our channel, click on the bell button to get notifications about our new videos, and give us a like.
Come and meet our perspective about the world.
I'm Warren.
And I'm Mindy.
And we are
Well, maybe.